Hi, it's Emily or Emmy Rose 22A, and I am back with day 9 of the Christmas Art Journal Advent Calendar put on by Mickie's Mind. I'll have links to her blog and her YouTube channel below. Today's prompt is a technique, and the technique is to use a Christmas card. You can either use all of it or some of it. That's the prompt. I have a funny story to go along with this. The prompts come out the night before. Obviously, I'm behind, but so this is the 9th. So it would have been the night of the 8th. My boyfriend and I were at the dollar store getting a couple things. I needed some poster board to make a backdrop to reflect my light from my videos. So we're waiting in line at the checkout, and there are Christmas cards on the end. And I hadn't gotten my email for the prompt yet. He's just like, oh, look, Christmas cards. I'm sure you could do something awesome with these. And I was like, yeah, but I don't really need them. I don't have a purpose for them. I'm trying to be, a good girl, not bring a bunch of clutter into my house. And I know it's only $1, but do I need to spend $1 that I may never use? It's kind of my logic. I'm like, plus, you get one print in the box. And he's like, really? That's stupid. And I was like, well, most people want their Christmas cards to be the same. When you go to somebody's house, you're like, oh, look, the Cardinals, that's mine. So he's kind of looking at the back of them to, prove me wrong or right or whatever. And one of them had a variety. So I think it had 2 of each card of like 5 different designs. He's like, look, this one's different. He's like, it's only $1. I was like, well, but I don't need it. I don't think so. He's like, okay, fine. And he puts it back, a little offended. He's trying to help, which he truly was. So we're driving home. We get home. I look at my prompt for the next day, and I just started laughing. And he's like, what? I said, the prompt is seriously to use a Christmas card. And he goes, are you for real? He's like, I told you should have bought them. You never listened to me. Blah, blah, blah. As I often hear how I never listen to him, because far too often I don't, and he's right. Whatever. He's like, I think I have a Christmas card. And I'm like, why would he have a Christmas card? And how is he ever going to find it? He goes into the bedroom, and on the nightstand, we both read before we fall asleep. And there is just a big stack of books. Probably, I don't know, there's at least 15 books in each stack. Not even kidding. Paperbacks. And in the middle of the one stack is something sticking out. And he's like, see? And he pulls it out carefully to not disrupt the whole stack. And sure enough, it's this Christmas card. And he kind of flings it at me. And then he's like, wait. And he takes it back, and this Christmas card is the one he got last year from his dad and stepmom. And his dad passed away this April. So he was like, well, you can use it, but I want the back part kept. And, because it's a special card. It's the last one he got. So my thought is to preserve the whole card. Not as it is exactly, but to keep the whole thing on this page. And then we'll always have that super special reminder of his dad in our advent calendar. So I'm going to cut the cover off. And so I have this to deal with. And my thought is I want to cut it down the middle for there to there, and then cut out the tree. So these would split to the side, and they're going to be little flappy doors. And then this will kind of stay in its place, but I want it to be able to flap up. So it'll be mounted on something, and whatever it is, it'll cover where these don't cover, because these are going to be out further. And so when you open the doors and flip it up, there'll be his little message. And it'll just be stuck in there, so if for some reason he wants it out or wants something else with it, he can do that. Because I'm trying to keep a Christmas song with every entry, I asked him what song he wanted, and he's like, just one moment. And he does something on his phone, and he comes back, and he's like, he wanted the song, Christmas Time Is Here. It's the Charlie Brown song. So he loved that song growing up. It was one of their like family, you watch Charlie Brown, it's a Charlie Brown Christmas or whatever it is every year. So, that's how I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like Christmas Time Is Here, is how it'll go in my mind. So I'm going to start off with deconstructing this. Get my paper trimmer out, because I kind of know what I want to do. I want to keep as much of her words as possible, but I'd like to get rid of a tiny bit of that fold, which may or may not happen. Because right there, my wire is right on the edge of her words. And I may need to, that kind of came off a little rough, so I may need to tidy that up a little bit. And I don't know why that came off so rough. So I'm just going to try to just take a smidge pidge off to even it up. That sounded smoother. Yes, it was. I really think I was right on the crease with that first cut. So it didn't, that's why it was so rough, is because it's right on the crease. So I have that. Now, let me get my cutting mat in X-Acto. Okay, we've got my cutting mat. Again, it's a quilting mat. It'll be fine for a X-Acto. Have my X-Acto, and I've done some measurements. The card is almost exactly 5 inches wide. It's just shy of 5 inches, so I have it just inside that mark. And the 2.5 mark, which happens to be this thick one right here, is my middle. So I should very easily be able to line this up along this white line. This line's kind of thick, so I'm not sure where, but I think that'll work. Then I'm going to cut from here down. Okay, now I'm going to flip the mat around and hope nobody shifts. Oh, except for that's the wrong side for me. I can't just cut it like that. I have to align it on the other side. I want to be able to pull towards me because I don't want to cut through that oval in the middle, because I would like to cut that out. So I'm trying, I want to be able to, like I said, be able to cut toward me. And I didn't have a metal ruler to use my X-Acto with, so I had to go get one of those. It was $2.50 from Target, so it's not like it cost me a lot of money. And then I think I'm going to cut on the inside of the gold. And I'm using my Cutter Bee scissors. If you guys need a good pair of scrapbook scissors, these are amazing. These things slide through paper like butter. If you've noticed, I have this other pair. These are a pair of Fiskars. These are good scissors and they cut fine. Similar in size. The Fiskars are a little bit bigger. The blade's obviously smaller, but I mean handle wise they're very similar. But these just don't glide through paper like the Cutter Bees do. The blade on these is just so fine and so sharp. They are so nice. So I'm using these for my other stuff, like trimming my threads and cutting tape and things like that, so that I don't dull my Cutter Bees. I'm a sewer first, so I know the importance of awesome scissors, and I know that you have scissors for the job and you go to it. So this is just going to be meticulous, me cutting around, and like I said, I want to keep this Christmas tree completely intact. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go find some papers, because obviously I need to have something to go behind the Christmas tree. I really think I'm going to use a piece of that gold foil that I have to mount it on, so that it kind of retains its gold foil outline like it has. And other than that, I am not positive. So I'll cut this out, go get some papers, and we will be back. Okay, so I've kind of been playing and I've cut up a bunch of elements for my page. So I am just going to kind of, I know I want this one for my background, so I'm going to go ahead and get this guy on there. And then I'll kind of explain through some of the other ones to, so you can understand like where my process came through and how I came up with them, like my dimensions and whatnot. This has gone through a couple of iterations. I want this one to be perfect. Is part of the problem. So, in trying to make it perfect, I've been struggling. Oh, come on. Am I out again? Yes, I am. Just one moment. Let me refill my tape runner, and then I will be right back. I got that stuck on, and I edged the page in brown. My next thing is my doors that will connect. I want these to be centered top to bottom, and then they're going to go on the edge. So I need to stick these on, and I'd figured, let's see, I marked these. Okay, so those are the tops. I put T's, so I know that was the top. My thought was that if I put these back to back, when I stuck the card pieces on, it would I'd be able to center them up, like match them. So I gotta get one, I guess. And then the other one will just mirror this one. I think this is the order I needed this to go. I'm going to flip these around, since that seems to be like my easier side to work on. And those are perfectly aligned. And then we will get these perfectly aligned. I just want them to come like right together when they, well, and I guess they won't come right together, but if you look now, they should line up practically perfect. The card itself, we have pretty much equal openings all the way around. I am not positive what size this is. Trusty ruler. So I know my paper's 10, so this is, looks like an 1/8 shy of 8. So that means I should pretty much have an inch at the top and an inch at the bottom. So 9, 1. Okay. That's what I'm going with. Then I'm going to use some washi tape to put my hinges on with. That is my plan for sticking these down. Oh, I hope I didn't just screw that up. Guess we'll find out, won't we? My tape is being all twisty. It figures, doesn't it? So I want it pretty much centered, and it appears to be about equidistant. Oops. Oh. And I bump it, of course. Oh, he's pretty much in good shape that way. So it should go right up against the edge and right over. And there's that hinge. And I'm going to do another one on the inside. I want to get the other side on first, so that this part of my like stressfulness is gone and over. Because let me tell you, this is freaking me out a little bit. Let's see, right to the end of that guy. I had this tape on hand, and I figured it was a good enough kind of color to go. It's got a little bit of the gold in it and whatnot, so let's see. I keep getting little wrinkles in there. That's why, partially why you use the washi tape, right? Alright, so there's that. And now I'm going to put a piece on the inside to make sure it's nice and stabilized. That way my hinges will not come off unless I stick the tape to itself. Okie doke. There's that side. Now let's get the other side. Maybe. Oh, yeah, look lady, how much, oops, says I, as I go to cut my entire card into pieces. I was going to say look how much easier that was, but it ended up being easier. It just almost wasn't. Okay, so that's there. The next thing, I think, so I guess I'll put this on this. I made a little mat for the back of my card to go on, so it could be nice and framed in a nice focal point. This runner is not running super well. It's being awful chunky and crusty. So I don't want to run my hands all over the inside of the card. And then this will go in here. I think it needs to go down there, like nearish the bottom, because this is going to go on top of it. Let me get everything but the tree put on this. So this is going to be a pretty little mat stack. So let me get that put together. That way I can get the pieces I know I want, and we can figure out the rest exactly. I have an idea, but it all depends on where it falls in the grand scheme of things. Very pretty. I was a little leery about using this gold foiled paper because there's the gold foiling on here and I didn't want them to like clash or anything, but I really like them like that. So I want the under thingy to be fully visible when the top's popped open. But I didn't want the tape to be visible when the doors are closed. So I kind of wanted everything to go to the bottom, and then that tape would just kind of go along there so that it covered that up. So I guess I'll put some runner on here. And I will eyeball this centered and down where it goes. That appears to be good enough for the door to cover it. And then this should just go same center down at the bottom. Because I didn't want any of that background thing to be visible when the door was open. Like I wanted it to be open the door, then you have to flip it up to see what's going on up there. So this one I think I'm gonna pre-cut because I need to have it fairly low, I think. think I'm going to put a piece on the inside too. This one I'm going to go for a little more even. And I don't really care that it covered up the top of my border there. I'm okay with that. And then the last piece is my Christmas tree, which goes on this red background, but I need it to be in, well, not need, I want it to be in this window. So that's why it got put on last. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go in reference to the rest of the window, but as in where it'll be on the red, it's red matte underneath, but I just know it needs to go in this little window. Like that. Because this and this are the front of the Christmas card, and now you open it and you get the pretty tree. And I guess this wasn't centered quite right, and that's okay. Then you flip it up and you see the original message. So that was what I really was going for today's like layout. And now I've got to do my words, and the words for today are going to be Christmas time is here, like the Charlie Brown song. I need to figure out, I've got these gold stickers that I'm going to use, so I need to figure out how they're going to fit. To get that to lay out like that, and once I get that figured out, I'll come back and we can put them on. And I need to do my December 9th. I don't even think I have that out yet, so I will be grabbing that and we will be back. I was quite concerned about this Christmas time fitting the whole thing, so it's gonna go, it goes up top, but I was worried about it fitting, so that's why I laid everything out. Now I'm just going to stick them all down, so I'll do this kind of quick and quiet. And the Christmas time is here is from the Charlie Brown Christmas show. For those of you who forgot, I do know I need to put my little dots on my eyes. Laura Basson is a card maker who has a YouTube channel, and she has taught me that the dots on your eyes are called tittles, for those of you who did not know. So I am not forgetting my tittles. I just knew I couldn't lay them out like on the ruler, so I included the eye, like the body of the eye, for the spacing, and just figured I would add the tittles later. I don't know where she learned that, but she enjoys saying it, and I enjoy saying it. I don't know what's so funny about a tittle, but it seems awful funny, like a very funny word. So there's that. I've edged my December 9th in brown like the rest of the page. And instead of centering up my is here, I left it over there so that I could stick my 9th down here in the corner. And that is day 9. I'm not sure if I'm going to get anything else done before Christmas. I've got a lot of you know, Christmas present finishing to do, but we shall see. I'm hoping to post a video showing how I did my Christmas cards, so I'll probably have that up before Christmas, but other than that, we'll have to see. So here's day 9, pretty with the doors and the flap that kept his card intact. So I know this was a special card for him, so I'm kind of honored and super pleased that I'm able to kind of keep it intact but not intact and put it in our advent calendar. So until next time, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to keep up with my videos, and we will see you either for the Christmas cards or day 10, whatever the next video happens to be. Bye.